Welcome to Inference and Incense.
Like people seem to choose prophecy just because it's easier.
True. And I think, human being, including myself, are lazy at heart. I mean, sometimes when you make 10,000 decisions at the end of your workday, do you really want to think or you want someone to tell you what to think and feel good about it, being on your couch scrolling? I think it's the latter, right? And it's so much not about busy anymore. I think we should dive into this, the modern challenge and the human identity in this day and age in a separate episode. But I think it's hard to blame people for their decisions, especially in the day of misinformations. I think people is tired at the end of the day. And if you look at the advertising and how the political swinging the message so differently, it's really hard to remember when truth is and when false information is. And you only remember, the very quick slogan, the lazy thing. I mean, it's not a political example here on one way or another, but you remember drain the swamp, right? You remember much more than who is it against, who is it about, who said it, but you remember the slogan. Medical freedom is a more recent one from COVID.
Oh yeah, what about COVID? Because even a lot of like experts, they were against vaccine, right? Why every time if those prophecies are winning?
I know. I mean, like the flat earther, I don't get it. But I think this is going back to like the populist formula. Back in the day, if you and I in a village and somebody said the earth is flat, and if the village have established that the earth is not flat, that person is just gonna be called names and never able to actually create a big following. But I forgot how big of a following of a group of Earth is flat on Facebook now. But it's big, Lucy. I'm not talking about 1,000 or 2,000. I'm talking about in the hundreds of thousands of a big group. So it's just going back to the populist formula. And the more people believing in these false information, the more power that is behind the false belief.
But I mean, how would they even negate the truth? Say the Earth's flatter. Like, don't we have evidence and data points to prove them wrong?
I mean, in terms of emotional impact, it's hard to prove it's right or wrong, right? I mean, they believe it is so strongly. If you believe in vaccine, creating autism for your children, who am I to say you're right or wrong? So I don't think a lot of strength behind prophecy is about having proof. And I think this is where communication, having unifying facts from governmental agency is really important for the common man, which is a very difficult thing in a very dynamic culture like the American.